You're always thinking, right? So you're always taking things in, and if you guys are writers, you're probably already processing it and looking at it from different ways. So what was the initial question? Where does it come from? What is the initial spark? Comes from anything all the time.
I've got my Evernote open right now, and I've got a bunch of fun ideas that I actually managed to flesh out enough. Like, because when you said, like, when you're waking up in the morning and you had that idea, that definitely flesh it out as much as you possibly can, because I've got some in here that I'm actually developing from like the initial dream. But there's one in here that just says, Jesus Christ superhero, and I have no idea what that was about.
Yeah, all the time, and if it's not all the time, then make it all the time. Like, always be looking for it. And if you can't find it, I mean, journaling, filling up pages is one of the best things you can do, is just stare at a blank piece of paper and then fill it without judgment, and don't be afraid to write terrible stuff because no one's going to see it. Yeah, so my answer would be all the time, and if not all the time, then just let your hand tell you stuff.
I mean, ideas come from anywhere. But the motivator to actually write it down and do something with it is what's important. And I think whether you say we're going to do 2 sketches a week, or you have a job where every day you have to turn in writing, having some sort of deadline that you make yourself obligated to meet will make you go, I found an idea.
And that's why it's nice to have a partner, just from the lower level of things. It's someone going to hold you accountable and be mad when you don't do your job. You know, if we make this arbitrary deadline, we're going to shoot every other week. But he's, you know, I mean, we're friends, but like, he's going to get on me and be a jackass if I don't do my job. So it's nice.
If you like writing, you're just going to write. I mean, but if you're looking to do something with it, make a profession out of it, I would identify what exactly you want to do and then write that. Focus on writing that. Nowadays, anyone can write and have a blog or have a Twitter account and write all they want. But there's also a lot of people who don't put the thought into, how can I be better? How can I say this the best way? How can I get better the next time and say it better the next time? So if you want to do professionally, identify what you want to do and focus on being the best you can at that.
The best thing you can do is get it in front of as many people as possible, because like, even if it's not just individual people, individual rooms or screenings, because like, it might do amazing at one different screening and it might be terrible at another one. It just depends on who's in the room and what kind of like expectation they have about it, and it's always going to be wildly different. But the ones that really hit are going to keep hitting, and then I don't know, I just keep like writing, like, you know, hone the craft towards that.
If you're just doing it yourself, just make it and throw it up on the internet, and if nobody likes it, make the next thing. I think that's one of the big things. Don't be too precious about what you're making. Unless it's going to take a lot of time and money and people to make it, just make it. Let it go. Move on to the next thing. Even if it sucks, the experience will be valuable for the next thing you make. So don't get too hung up on, is my sensibility the same as anyone else's? Because certainly starting out, just keep plugging away.
When you start to get better, it's because it's your personality that's kind of shining through it. So keep it grounded in you.
If you have a character that we care about and they're trying to get what they want, in the process, as long as in the process of doing those things, you're true to that, and through there you like pepper jokes in, the audience is going to laugh at your jokes. But if they're focused on whether or not this character gets what they want, if they're going to overcome this conflict, for a second there they might even forget it's a comedy, right? Because they're concerned about how's the story going to end, and then you start throwing jokes in there, and you keep catching them off guard, right? Because they're invested in the story and in the character.
I mean, no one's going to fault you for writing a great story. At the end of the day, they'll fault you for trying too hard to be funny or cramming too many dumb jokes in, but no one's going to be mad because you wrote a really great story but only had a couple jokes in it.
Stay true to your characters, let them kind of drive the plot, and when writing dialogue, make sure the characters are talking to each other. Make sure you're not writing dialogue because you want to talk to your audience.